no one is ever perfect, and just to remember that progress is better than perfection.
I'm so excited that you're going to be doing this zero waste challenge with me. Are you down to show me your trash from a regular day?
I've got some seaweed snacks, sparkling water, root beer. I made this yesterday. This is all of my waste.
So since you hardly make any trash and you're already really low waste, maybe this can more be a tutorial and just showing people how you avoid waste.
We could do that.
I'm excited for you to show us how we can reduce waste and be more low waste.
Hi everybody, it's Leah Thomas, and I'm going to be showing you all how I reduce waste and telling you all about the waste that I do get. So here is my kind of like mason jar collection. It's absolutely made my life a lot easier, and it's just so easy to always have like containers to put stuff in. It's really what helps me not really have a ton of waste. So what are some other things in my house that I can show you? I like to package a lot of my food in these sorts of bags. This is a way that I also say low waste at my house. They come in all different shapes and sizes. If I don't want to use plastic when I'm out and about, I have things like this. They have wooden forks and knives and cutlery. I try to be like super forgiving of myself. Like for example, I really wanted some bagels, right? So I have this bagel and it comes in plastic, and I don't know, I need to eat. So, and I really want bagels, and these happen to be the ones that were sold at Trader Joe's.
So we actually met when we did a video where you were explaining the intersection between environmentalism and Black Lives Matter. And since then, I know you have started this awesome thing called Intersectional Environmentalists. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Intersectional Environmentalist is an online platform that started during the summer of 2020 that's all about exploring the relationship between social justice and environmentalism, because there are so many links and interconnections there, really trying to make environmental education accessible to everyone. This is like a daily vitamin that I use, and it comes in packaging that is compostable and biodegradable, and I just pour these refills into my glass container so that way I don't have to go to the store and buy a bunch of plastic and things like that. Even things like, cotton swabs, just making sure that I'm getting some sort of like easily recyclable packaging, because the majority of consumer waste actually comes from packaging, and that's pretty messed up. I'm primarily plant-based, and I just really need certain vitamins, but I like to prioritize like glass containers because those are really easily recyclable.
In the past, I've defined zero waste as trying to send as little as possible to landfill. I'm wondering how you would define zero waste.
So I've been gravitating towards the terminology low waste versus zero waste. In reality, it's just saying, okay, if you have plastic, making sure you're able to recycle it, doing as much as you can to divert any waste away from a landfill. To my surprise, I almost felt like I kind of passed a test when I was talking to Ari, because apparently I'm one of the more low waste people that she's talked to. Even as an environmental blogger, I get sent lots of things. So the majority of my waste is honestly from packaging or from food. Just so you get a little sneak peek, here are some of my packages that I get. Thankfully, a lot of it does come in recycled packaging. I also donate a lot of those things to people who need it. I also gift my mom with a lot of things, or like my employees and my coworkers and stuff like that.
How do you think the zero waste movement can grow?
Zero waste, like we were talking about before, it's been almost positioned as something that only wealthy folks can do, and you can't buy your way into sustainability. I don't really see a lot of representation of people of color or people like my grandma. There are a lot of people who are living low waste out of necessity. It's actually kind of funny how consumerism has infiltrated the zero waste circle, and that's really not what it's about. So I think that's kind of been a shift that I'm seeing, where I'm you know, kind of transitioning more so towards, you know, low waste.
The truth is, zero waste is low waste. You can never be zero waste. It's just like a striving to do that. And it's funny too because the most zero waste thing is to not buy anything. But then now there's this whole like industry of products that have been built around supporting the zero waste lifestyle, which is, I think, sort of inherently not zero waste.
I like to use laundry detergent that doesn't really require a ton of waste, whether it's things that aren't using plastic. So something like this, it's from Drops and it comes in like a cardboard box, which is really easy to recycle. It's unscented, so it's not using any like toxic waste and dyes. I feel like this is kind of fun. As an environmentalist, sometimes honestly, like I always feel like I'm not doing enough, and sometimes I feel ashamed about the trash that I do have, but I guess it's really nice and important to remind yourself of the things that you are doing. So that's a little bit about how I try to reduce my waste around the house. I recycle when I can, and I try to make sure the packaging that I'm buying always has some sort of strategy for its end of life, and also not shaming myself if I'm not perfect, because we're in a panorama right now, so it's totally okay.
You're already really far along on your low waste journey and being an environmentalist. What would you say to people who are starting on their journey?
You know, you can't buy your way into sustainability. I don't want to confuse anyone to think that you have to like be this mega consumer in order to be zero waste, because honestly, a lot of people probably have all the tools and solutions already at home.
For people who have never heard the term intersectional environmentalism, can you explain what that is?
Intersectional environmentalism, in essence, just means taking an approach to environmentalism that also evaluates, you know, class, race, gender, sexuality, etc., and also accessibility.
And how do we find out more about intersectional environmentalist?
You can check out our website at intersectionalenvironmentalist.com, also our Instagram at intersectionalenvironmentalist.